Hello, lovelies, Rotting Joy Fox here. I'm gonna continue this what if, but since I was a bit rushed yesterday by someone asking me when is it gonna come out, the third part, I couldn't think of a perfect good part for this. So if it comes out a bit like choppy or not sounding that well, please do not blame it on me. I was rushed. If I could have gone with the time that I originally got for this what if, then the story would be very good, but I was a bit rushed. So please understand that, and let's get started. So where I left off is when Deku and Deku is running through the forest with his boar family. Should I just call him Inosuke or Deku? Yeah, Deku's the main character, so let's go. Deku is running with his boar family as he gets to the entrance of the forest, but he finds police officers as well. Police officers and some heroes at the entrance of the forest. So he dives behind a bush and hides there for a while, and he tells his boar family to scatter. And Deku is kind of smart, as some would say. He has the ability to talk, then he learned how to talk. But since Inosuke doesn't learn how to read or write, I'm gonna kinda push that into Deku's character more. Deku will be smart, but he doesn't know how to do mainly writing or sometimes reading. Sometimes he can read, sometimes he can't. He has to read from the bottom till he gets to the top. So that means Prince Vanessa has to do a lot of talking with him. Okay, so Deku is... Oh guys, I have to also ask something. Should I do my what if Deku had... Should I restart what if Deku had Black Discat Poke artifacts? Anyway, let's continue. Okay, so Deku's basically hiding from everyone because he thinks all of them are bad except for the police officers. And he does know the difference between hero and villain, just doesn't know all the heroes. But actually no, he doesn't even know any heroes, so he doesn't even have a favorite. So Deku is technically fighting off more than he could chew, because normally he needs to know the opponent for he could fight better and figure out the style quickly. So yeah, Deku does end up getting captured by none other than All Might, because he was asked to go into the scene because of what he has heard from heroes and villains. Well, not from the villains. So basically, he was told that villains are in the forest trying to capture whoever's in the forest or whatever's in the forest that's making all this notice on hero society. And the heroes need help because apparently it wasn't really strong enough to knock them out. Well, some. Mr. Aizawa needs your help. Can you go deal with it, All Might? And he said, yeah, sure, I will go deal with it. As he does go and finds a little boy, well, he calls them young, but he does know that their age is something. And Deku doesn't know his age exactly. He has been tiling it up. And when he reaches a certain number, like 1 years old, he was starting to do it. Actually, no, he does know his age. So whenever I say he doesn't know his age, he doesn't know it from back then, but now he does. So I'm gonna make Deku's 14 when I said it. This is when he's 15, so Katsuki is 16. Actually, no. Katsuki and Deku are kind of the same. Born on the same day. Actually, that's Mirio and Deku. I don't know. Someone do the math and tell me when Katsuki's birthday and Deku's birthday is. Anyway, let's continue. So Deku does get captured by All Might and does get bring to the and they're wondering what should they do as Deku is trying to fight off the chains. All the heroes are gathered, all the villains are arrested as Deku is put in a car to the... Where's my notes? Found them. To principal... Well, to the UA. To UA. Basically, Deku is at UA, and this is like at the before the entrance exam starts, so in the 10 months of training. As Deku did train up beforehand, like the 9 months, the 10th month, that's when everything happened. So basically, Deku was training all of the years beforehand, as well as the 9 months of training, but the 10th month, Deku was running away from heroes and villains. As he does end up getting captured by All Might. And I already said that. So Deku does end up at Principal Ness's office. And there's like police officers, doctors, some of the Hero Society members, some heroes, and Principal Nezu himself. And they were gonna charge him with several things, and when Principal Nezu asked about where he lives or anything, he said woods. Just one word at a time, because he doesn't trust anyone at the moment. Because technically the police officers betrayed him, because he knew the police officers. He does hang out with them and does train with them, telling them that it's good to get more stronger for they could protect people more easier. So he does train with them. That's how he got a bit more stronger. As Deku does say woods, they're like confused, and then Principal Nezu put the dots together and says, "Oh, you were born in the woods?" No. One of the police officers said, we had a blood test pulled from the last time he visited us, and he was born from a family that was murdered, and the only one that went missing was the little boy, the little baby, so we think he is the child of the family that was murdered. The mother was Inko Midoriya, and the father was Hasashi Midoriya. And that means you are Izuku Midoriya. And the way Izuku does figure out his name is, it's actually engraved in the back of the locket. To Izuku Midoriya. And he guessed, oh, that's my name. My name's Izuku. My name's now Izuku. Hallelujah. So basically, Deku does end up having a talk with Principal Nezu when he's more comfortable. The police do say that he is part of a family that went missing, but was found murdered, and the body of the newborn baby was never found. And the doctors did a blood test and figured out the Izuku is actually connected to Inko and Hasashi, and that's how they figured out, yep, this is the child of them, and went missing. Oh, what's that? What's wrong with it? Great, I'm hungry. Okay, so Deku does end up, well, Mr. Aizawa does say, since you did cause a lot of trouble, what should we do? What is your quirk? As Deku said, quirk in a questionable way. What is that? And then they realize he has been living in the fucking woods. He doesn't know anything. They remember, as Principal Nessie tries to explain it the best of his abilities, as he does, Deku does understand it and said, "Oh, I thought I was born with powers no one else could comprehend." And Deku does have his boar mask on, but people are saying, "Is this your face?" And Deku said no. And please remember, Deku is like a pretty boy under that. He just hides it under a boar head. So they asked him to take it off, and Deku said no, because he feels more comfortable with it on. So Deku does end up saying he was left at the woods. The only memory of his childhood he could remember is a woman on a cliff leaving him there as she ran away, and he saw someone chasing her. And this must have been in Gomendoria when she was being chased, because her body was later found outside. If I say outside the city, that was incorrect. Mainly outside the forest, mainly at the entrance. So they figured out that Deku is now an orphan and needs to be protected because villains are trying to get him for something. As they have to really get in touch with the naturing part of them, since Deku doesn't know anything about anything. So basically, Principal Nezu does take care of Deku, but he does need more of a guardian figure. So Mr. Aizawa does say, "I will try to take him since I'm the most flattery figure that anyone is in the school." As some teachers does take this as a small offense, but did say, yeah, he's kind of right. So that's gonna teach Deku how to grow up. So Deku does get kind of adopted by Mr. Aizawa, but mainly he is his guardian. Guardian could mean several things. And I'm not gonna get into that. So Deku does get adopted by Mr. Aizawa as he gets taught by Principal Nezu as well as All Might how to use Principal Nezu teaches him the smarts, while All Might and Mr. Aizawa teaches him the strengths. Well, Mr. Aizawa teaches him the skills. All Might teaches him the strength. Principal Nezu teaches him about the smarts. So basically, Deku is quick at things. Basically, I'm trying to add his normal self into it as well. So basically, Deku does take notes, but doesn't keep them in like a notebook. He keeps them in his head. Well, his noggin, his brain. So Deku does figure out a lot of things more quickly, but it was a bit challenging at first. They had to do stuff in like a style that he could understand. Yeah, this is gonna be part 3.